Hey there guys, so we are live. Just bear with me 1 second while I get this sorted. Okay, so yeah, we're live. So this is going to be a live stream. We're going to run for about 40 minutes, 45 minutes, guys. We're going to be talking about 4 different movie subjects here. And we're just kicking back, relaxing, just chilling out, hanging out as friends, and just talking about some movie news. So, let's jump in and have a look at the topics we're going to be talking about in tonight's live stream. Let me just move my microphone. So, our first topic is going to be story trailer and cast revealed for Marvel's 1943 video game, Rise of Hydra. Then we're going to move on to franchise Milestone by Kung Fu Panda. The box office for the franchise of Kung Fu Panda is absolutely massive. We're going to be diving into that. That's a very interesting story. Then we're going to be taking a look at Peaky Blinders. It looks like Cillian Murphy is coming back for a Peaky Blinders movie. I know there's a lot of fans out there who love the franchise of Peaky Blinders. The series, went absolutely bananas. A lot of people love it. And then our main topic for tonight's stream is going to be Margot Robbie's involvement with making a Sims movie, which is very, very interesting. Obviously, one of the biggest gaming franchises out there. Incredible amount of numbers of players, play this game. And it looks like it's being turned into a movie and Margot Robbie is involved. But guys, let's go back and start off with our first topic of tonight's stream. So we're going to be looking at this story trailer and cast revealed for Marvel's 1943 Rise of Hydra. So this video game came out of nowhere. It looks like Marvel is back at it again after their massive failure of the Marvel's Avengers. That game came out, was a live service, flopped on its face. And it looks like they're back with a new game, Rise of Hydra, Marvel 1943. This has actually piqued my interest. Having a Marvel game set in World War II is so cool, in my opinion. And the trailer looks really, really good. We're going to dive into that trailer. We're going to do a bit of a breakdown and have a look and see what it has to show us. But let's read into the news first and see what we can learn about this game. So, 4 heroes forge an uneasy alliance in an original tale. So, at the Game Developers Conference, CDC 2024, Skydance New Media and Marvel Games have unveiled their story trailer and cast for the highly anticipated Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra video game. Initially announced in 2022, with sparse details focusing on Captain America and Black Panther's involvement in World War II, the newly released story trailer expands the narrative. Alongside Captain America and Black Panther, T'Challa's grandfather, the game introduces 2 additional characters, Nanali, a Wakandan spy operating in occupied Paris, and Gabrielle Jones, a US soldier and member of the Howling Commandos. So yeah, this sounds really, really cool. Like I said, having a concept of a Marvel's game set in World War II, Captain America, obviously that's where, that's where he originates from. But having World War II, I think is super, super cool. Something fresh, something different. And I think it's going to be really, really captivating for players. That's if they can nail the game. Hopefully it's a single player. Hopefully it's not a live service and it just comes out and falls flat on its face. And hopefully it can be done justice. So we have a poster here, which looks really awesome. So we have obviously Cap and Black Panther front and center. Then we have the US soldier here on the side. And we have, what was her name? Bear with me. World War II, T'Challa's grandfather. The game introduces 2 additional characters, Nanali, a Wakandan spy, and Gabrielle Jones. So this is a Wakandan spy and a US soldier. And then we've got Cap and we've got Black Panther, 1943 Rise of Hydra. Yeah, I think this sounds really, really cool. It's piqued my interest. It looks awesome. And let's read a little bit more about it. So who is the cast? The cast for the Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra comprises Drew Morlene as Steve Rogers, also known as Captain America. By the way, I'm sorry if I butcher any of these names. I'm never very good at reading names. Carrie Payton, portraying Azuri, T'Challa's grandfather. Meglin Chicken Woke as Nanali, the Wakandan spy embedded in occupied Paris. Again, sorry if I'm butchering that name. Mark Richardson as Gabrielle Jones, a US soldier and member of the Howling Commandos. So, in addition to the core cast, Lean Rennie takes on the role of Julie, a vital ally within the French resistance, while Joe Johnston portrays Howard Stark. So we're getting Howard Stark in there. We've got, Black Panther. We've got Black Panther's grandfather. We've got Captain America. We've got US soldiers. We've got Wakandan spies. Everything we need to stir into a recipe to make a really awesome game. Got a great shot here of what Captain America looks like. I think the design looks great. Very simplistic. Got that kind of World War II vibes going on. I really do like it. Harkens back to the kind of origins of Captain America and what he used to look like. Really, really cool. So what does Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra entail? So in a tumult battle, desperate worlds collide. Skydance New Media and Marvel Games introduce an original narrative where a quartet of heroes must reconcile their differences, forging an uneasy alliance to confront a mutual adversary, describes the video synopsis. I would love them to do a movie like this, an actual full-blown Marvel movie set in World War II with Captain America. Obviously, the first Captain America, first Avenger, a lot of that took place in World War II, I get that. But I would love to see another crack at a World War II movie with Captain America. I think it would be great. Hopefully they reboot the MCU at some point and we get another Captain America set in World War II. I think that would be incredible. Just to go off on a tangent about some movie news. So, the game will showcase an original music score composed by Grammy Award winner Stephen Barton, renowned for his contributions to film, television, and gaming, including Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Star Trek Picard, Apex Legends, Titanfall, and 12 Monkeys. So this person's done a lot of music when it comes to, pop culture, stuff, Star Trek Picard, Apex Legends, Titanfall. So covered a lot of different bases. That's really, really cool. Marvel 1943, Rise of Hydra is slated for release in 2025, will be accessible on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC platforms. Is it going to be a live service game, though? That's the biggest question going forward. Every time I hear about a big release coming out in the next couple of years, I'm always questioning, is it going to be live service? And if it is, it pretty much just destroys my interest in the project. Live services are there to nickel and dime players, microtransactions, all that BS. But before we find out, let's just jump into the game anyway and enjoy it for what it is. And let's take a look at this trailer. Obviously, I can't play the thing in its entirety because of copyright, guys. But what we can do, we can, if I can blow this up slightly, I should be able to. Bear with me 1 second. So if I make this a bit bigger, now we can take a better look at this. So let's go through this quickly. So obviously we're in 1943. We're in Paris there. We've got the Eiffel Tower, which is pretty damn cool. Got the streets of Paris. We got some what looks like to be German soldiers here. Again, guys, I'm going to have to skip through parts of it. We've got German soldiers on the outside. Then we've got Captain America's shield, and we've got the massive scratch claws, the claw marks down the side of the shield. Obviously, that looks like a aftermath of a battle between Cap and Black Panther, which is pretty cool. Seeing that shield, man. And then we get the full reveal of what Captain America here looks like, and he looks pretty damn cool. It's like a leather costume. It's very simplistic. It's not it's not high tech, overpowered. It's not like an Iron Man suit or anything stupid, anything futuristic. Just very kind of chilled back leather kind of costume, and I think it looks great. He looks like the Captain America that we saw in Falcon and Winter Soldier, and played by Wyatt Russell. I think he looks similar to that. His face, anyway, not his costume necessarily. So, Marvel. So, we have Black Panther here, obviously overlooking the streets of Paris. There he is, Black Panther, taking out some German officer. Captain America again. Captain America there, doing his stuff, taking out this truck by the look of it. Then we get a great look of T'Challa here. Yeah, man, looks great. Or is that T'Challa's grandfather? That's not actually T'Challa himself, is it? Obviously, that's the US soldier. Pretty cool. Hydra. So Hydra's starting to rear its head within World War II. And let's keep going. Black Panther climbing across the rooftops here. Yeah, that's really cool. I hope that they have really good parkour mechanics, kind of like Assassin's Creed, but kind of like the Marvel version of Assassin's Creed, where we can jump and vault, through the alleyways and across the rooftops and all that really cool kind of stuff. I think the parkour is going to be a really important factor in this game, if this kind of bit of the trailer is anything to go by. We've got some story beats here with this Black Panther. Then he's going to jump down, take out some of these Germans. Again, another shot of Captain America here. Looks pretty damn cool. Leather costume. It looks very similar to the movie version in some ways, with the red and white stripes on the chest, the star here, obviously. But then again, that's Captain America's natural uniform, so taking out the Germans with his shield. Another shot of Black Panther here. We got more of the US soldier and the Wakandan spy. Obviously, they're going to have a bit of a feud. It's going to be a subplot on the side. So that's the Wakandan spy. Let's keep going. Then at the end, we kind of have this face-off between Black Panther and Captain America on this bridge here, which is really, really cool. As you can see here, this kind of finishes off the trailer. They kind of go at it on this bridge. But the cinematic looks awesome. But then again, you know, games release these cinematic, you know, trailers, and they look nothing like the gameplay. So we don't know what the gameplay looks like. Is it third person? Is it first person? You know, we just don't know what the game's going to look like. This trailer could look nothing like what the game looks like. So we have to keep our, expectations in check, especially when they've done us dirty with the live service games beforehand as well. So we just have to kind of, ratchet back our expectations to some degree. But yeah, guys, so that's Marvel 1943, Rise of Hydra, a brand new game coming in 2025. Are you excited for this game, or are you kind of apprehensive after what happened with the Marvel's Avengers and it being live action and kind of just flopping on its face? Let me know what you think about this game, guys. Can't wait to hear what you have to say. Pop it down in the comment section. But with that down, we're going to move on to our second topic of tonight's live stream. So we're going to be going on to this. So we're going to be talking about Kung Fu Panda 4. And Kung Fu Panda, I guess, as a whole, you know, the franchise as a whole. It's not necessarily a thing that I watch, but I appreciate the fact that the animation is absolutely amazing. There's so many fans around the world that love this franchise, and as we're going to talk about, the box office goes to show just how popular this franchise is. But like I say, it's not necessarily for me. I haven't really watched these films, but I understand why people do appreciate them. So, the box office success of Kung Fu Panda 4 propels the franchise beyond a rare milestone, securing its position as the 7th highest grossing animated franchise in history. That's a massive achievement in it of itself. So, premiering in theaters on March 8th, Kung Fu Panda 4 continues the animated franchise's saga, following Po as he seeks to train his successor while facing the sinister Cillian, led by Jack Black. The cast includes familiar voices like Dustin Hoffman, James Hong, Bryan Cranston, and Ian McShane, alongside newcomers Awkwafina and Ke-Huy Quan, Ronnie Cheng, and Viola Davis. Sorry again if I butchered any of those names. Obviously, having Jack Black in there, he's universally loved. Jack Black, in my eyes, can do no wrong. The guy is just so charming, so hilarious in anything that he's in. And he brings a lot to the voice casting in the Kung Fu Panda franchise. He's great as Po the Panda. So, in a remarkable feat, the box office performance of Kung Fu Panda 4 has propelled the franchise beyond a rare milestone in less than 2 weeks. Deadline reports that the film has surpassed $2 billion globally. Deadline reports the film has surpassed $2 billion globally, solidifying its place as the 7th highest grossing animated franchise of all time. So the film itself hasn't reached $2 billion. Obviously, that would be ridiculous. There's no way the film itself could reach $2 billion. But the franchise as a whole, the Kung Fu Panda kind of franchise, has now gone over $2 billion worldwide. That is absolutely insane how much money this franchise has made. That's why they keep cranking out these movies. You would think Kung Fu Panda 4 is probably derivative of the first movie. Nobody's going to watch it. The franchise is on a downward slope, but it's made over $2 billion as a franchise, which is just insane. Deadline reports, we've already read that, solidifying its place as the 7th highest grossing animated of all time. Remarkably, this makes it the 3rd DreamWorks animation series to achieve such a feat, following in the footsteps of Shrek at $3.972 billion, insane, and Madagascar, again, $2.2 billion. So, you know, these franchises are cooking, man. They're selling like hotcakes. Kung Fu Panda is making all the money you could imagine. And we're going to see a lot more of these movies in the near future, I would imagine. So, Kung Fu Panda 4's box office success explained. In 2024, Kung Fu Panda has emerged as the 2nd highest grossing film, trailing only behind Doom Part 2. Surpassing expectations, the animated feature claimed the top spot at the box office, with stellar $58 million opening weekend, outshining the sci-fi epic's $46 million in its second weekend. Maintaining its dominance, Kung Fu Panda 4 retained its leading position with a solid $30 million haul. In its second weekend, globally, the film has amassed $179 million, with a $109 million from the domestic markets and $69 million from international territories. So yeah, it's doing really, really well for this type of animated movie, the 4th movie in the franchise. As I say, normally when it gets to the 4th, installment in a franchise, it normally starts to peter off. People have seen the movies, they start to lose interest, and as you go along, the box office would normally start to go down. But people are still interested. It's a 4-quadrant movie. People of all ages can go and enjoy these movies. They're very chill, they're very cool, relaxing. And like I say, I know it's really, really popular out there. It's just not for me, guys, but I understand why a lot of people see it. So if we have a look down here, we've got the box office here. So worldwide, Dune Part 2, 506 million worldwide. Domestic is 207 and international 299. Kung Fu Panda sits at 179. Domestic 109 and international 69, sorry. Bob Marley One Love, 169 million, 93 million and 75 million international. The Beekeeper made 152 million, 66 million domestically, 86 million internationally. Mean Girls, 104 million, domestic 72 and international 32. So Kung Fu Panda is right up there, just behind Dune. Obviously, Dune, the worldwide box office, is way ahead of Kung Fu Panda, but obviously we would expect that. It's a massive sci-fi epic. Denis Villeneuve, it's going to make all the money in the world. But Kung Fu Panda, it's the little engine that could. It keeps going, and this is great to hear. Much like the Minions franchise, the Minions have just cranked out movie after movie after movie, but they continue to make money. People love it. It's a family-friendly movie, and you can take your kids, take your family, and those seats definitely get filled, that's for sure. So despite receiving generally positive reviews, Kung Fu Panda 4 has faced its weakest critical reception with the franchise, earning a franchise low Rotten Tomatoes score of 72. If your franchise is receiving on the low end a 72% Rotten Tomatoes, then you're doing something right, because a low score of 72, many films were killed to have a 72% Rotten Tomatoes. And considering it's the lowest point of the franchise, I think they're doing something right here. So while some reviews indicate a potential decline in the series, momentum, the box office performance tells a different story. Yeah, like I said, by the time you get to the fourth installment, normally the franchise momentum starts to peter off a little bit as people grow tired of the franchise and the kind of, tropes that they've seen before. But the box office is telling a different story. People are interested, repeat viewings, family viewings, all that kind of stuff. So remarkably, Kung Fu Panda 4 achieved the franchise's strongest opening in 16 years, surpassing half of the original movie's total domestic gross. The film's global success, crossing the $2 billion mark, again, that is unbelievable, serves as a testament to its enduring popularity and resilience. Far from faltering, the franchise continues to thrive, defying any notions of stagnation. I think part of the reason for this is not just the movies. I think the fact that all the toys, the merchandise, the clothing, all of that kind of stuff keeps Kung Fu Panda in the zeitgeist. It keeps it popular. It keeps it at the forefront. Kids play with the Kung Fu Panda toys. They have the clothes. They have all the merchandise. And, when a new movie comes out, all the kids have the toys. And, it just kind of, they kind of help each other out. The box office sells the toys and the toys sell the movies. And it kind of like that circle that keeps it in the zeitgeist, as I say. But, like I say, this movie, fantastic. It's not necessarily for me, but I still want it to succeed. I want people to enjoy it. And it seems like, it's doing so good financially, which is great to hear. I hope they continue to make these movies, and I hope people continue to enjoy them, even though it's not for me. But yeah, guys, there we are. So jump into the comment section. Let me know what you think about this. Did it catch you by surprise that the Kung Fu Panda franchise has amassed over $2 billion worldwide? This is an incredible feat. I hope they continue to make all the financial success in the world and people continue to enjoy these movies. But like I say, jump in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this story. And with that down, guys, we're going to move on to our third topic of tonight's stream. So we're going to be moving on to this. Peaky Blinders. Cillian Murphy confirmed by Stephen Knight to definitely return for a Peaky Blinders movie. So I remember reading a few months back that there was some rumblings going on in Hollywood about Cillian Murphy coming back to play, to play in the Peaky Blinders once more. But then he said, I'm not really sure that people would want to see me back in Peaky Blinders, given my age. He feels like he might be a bit too aged. He might be a bit too old to come back and play the character. But now it looks like it's confirmed, which is fantastic. I know the series is massive. So many people watched it. That kind of 1930s gangster, England kind of thing. And, sorry, bit of a chest there. But yeah, I know a lot of people follow this and it's great. And if they're coming back to do a movie, I'm definitely going to check it out. So this week on the red carpet, Stephen Knight confirmed the return of the Oscar winner. Attention all Peaky Blinders enthusiasts, prepare for some sensational news as the highly anticipated film adaptation of the renowned drama series promises to be nothing short of extraordinary. The series, man, it was cutthroat, it was crazy, all of the kind of criminal gang empire stuff that you expect from this type of series. If you haven't seen Peaky Blinders, guys, I really do recommend it. 1930s Birmingham, I believe it's 1930s, or maybe before. Is it 1915 or 1930s? It's around about that time period, between the 1915 and 1930s. I can't remember exact time period, but I know it's around then. Yeah, there's just a lot of crazy stuff going on. Gangsters fighting each other in the streets and all that kind of crazy stuff you expect. So jump on it if you haven't seen it. Wondering what's next for Academy Award winner Cillian Murphy? Your curiosity ends there. Obviously, Cillian Murphy has been saying rumors about he's potentially coming back to the 28 Days Later zombie franchise as well. So that's going to be interesting if he comes back to that. Just on a side note. At the premiere of the latest BBC series, This Town show, creator Stephen Knight dropped an electrifying bombshell. Murphy is set to reprise his legendary role as Tommy Shelby in the upcoming film, scheduled to commence production this September at Digbeth Lock Studios in East Midlands. Get ready for the cinematic experience infused with pure gold straight from Peaky Blinders universe. So it looks like, you know, that they've got the production scheduled. They know where they're shooting it. So it's absolutely confirmed that it's actually going to happen. It's not rumors anymore. It's not just kind of talking through the grapevine. It's actually going to happen. He's going to be coming back as Tommy Shelby. I couldn't remember the character's name earlier on. I did see some of the episodes, like, when they came out, but it's been a long time since I've watched it, so I do apologize. But I'm excited to check this out and catch up on the series, which I need to do. Gangsters, shooting in the streets, bombs, explosions, all this kind of crazy stuff. It's absolutely fantastic. Cillian is definitely returning for it. We're shooting it in September, just down the road in Digbeth. Yeah, so like I say, they know when the production starts, they know where they're filming, and it's all confirmed, which is absolutely fantastic. So many Peaky Blinder fans worldwide are going to be absolutely thrilled about this news, about a movie. I don't know if it's going to be a theatrical movie or if it's going to go straight to streaming, but we'll have to find out. So following Cillian Murphy's triumph at the last weekend's Oscars, where he clinched the prestigious Best Actor award for his stellar performance in Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer. Yeah, congratulations to Cillian Murphy, obviously winning the Oscar, which is fantastic news. Oscar-winning actor now. Absolutely fantastic news for him. Stephen Knight couldn't help but shower him with praise. Knight remarked, "It was so deserved. I mean, he's brilliant. He's such a great human being. He leads the line when we're shooting, and he's so level-headed and straightforward. He deserves everything he gets." It's clear that Murphy's talent and character leave an indelible mark, both on and off the screen. Yeah, the guy is a world-class performer, one of the best in Hollywood. You won't find anyone better than him at the moment. He's right up there with the Hollywood's greats. The guy brings the storm every time he's on screen. When you watch an episode of Peaky Blinders, it's hard to take your eyes off him. You never know what he's going to do. His character's like really unhinged, and it's just crazy stuff. Who does Cillian Murphy play in Peaky Blinders? So this is for those of you who may not know that much about Peaky Blinders. For those unacquainted and eager to delve into Cillian Murphy's career post his Oscar triumph, Murphy's portrayal of Shelby epitomizes the cunning ambition of the Peaky Blinders gang leader. Set in post-World War I Birmingham, England, Shelby's intellect, leadership, and morally ambiguous stance distinguish him as a formidable figure of his time. His interactions with the criminal underworld, law enforcement, and political figures propel the narrative forward as Shelby pursues power and redemption with unwavering determination. Yeah, crooked cops, politicians, gangsters, you know, shootouts, all that good stuff from like old-fashioned gangster stuff. Really, really fun, guys. If you like anything remotely gangster-wise, then this would definitely be a series for you. So what can we expect from the Peaky Blinders movie? Hitting that current incarnation of Peaky Blinders, most likely with Murphy and Tommy Shelby at the forefront, would be its last. Knight stated that the movie would be set during the Second World War and could carry the story into the darkest days of the country. Knight also noted that the 6th season would bring the next generation of characters and would blend them together with what came before them in a recent interview with Esquire. So it looks like they're going into a new season. They're going to bring in new characters and kind of pass the baton over and going to continue on the Peaky Blinders, but it's going to have an all-new cast by the sound of it, from what it says here. Yeah, would carry the story into the darkest days. Would bring the next generation of characters. So yeah, it looks like they're passing over the baton, like I say, to a new set of characters, which is very, very interesting. New characters, new actors coming in, making something new and fresh, a different time setting, and a different dynamic. So that'll be very, very interesting to see where Peaky Blinders goes, into the future. So the film, I know exactly what it's about, and I know what two stories it's going to tell. How the story will unfold, I don't know. What will happen after that? I want that to depend on the film. For all we know, somebody is going to pop out. I think I know who it's going to be. In Series 6, we're bringing in a new generation, and they're going to be part of what happens in the film. I think it's finding those actors that you just watch and you think, there you go, there's the future. So yeah, they're definitely setting up future generations of characters, which is great. They definitely have plans to carry on this Peaky Blinders franchise into the future, which is absolutely great to hear because it's fantastic. The series is shot so well, the cinematography, the vibe, the atmosphere, everything about it. And it's great to hear that it's going to continue, that it's not just going to die out, you know, after the newest season and the movie, because it's a great series. So stay tuned to Collider. Obviously, this is where that news came from. Peaky Blinders, the full series, has currently been streamed on Netflix. So, yeah, this is great news. Like I say, a new generation of characters are coming in. Peaky Blinders is going to continue into the future. And that's great to hear because it's such a fantastic series. And obviously, Cillian Murphy now being an Oscar-winning, caliber of actor, him coming back to do a movie is going to keep a lot of people really happy with this Peaky Blinders news. But guys, let's move on to our final topic of tonight's video, which is going to be our main topic as well. This definitely caught me by surprise, I have to say. So, we have Barbie's Margot Robbie is partnering up with Loki's director, Kate Herron, to bring The Sims to life on the big screen. So, it looks like they're going to be making a Sims movie with Margot Robbie. I don't know if Margot Robbie's going to be starring in the movie, or she's going to be producing the movie, or behind the camera. But either way, how can you make a Sims movie? I guess, because in The Sims, obviously, it's just a simulation game. You know, you build a house, you put people in it, and they do different things. There's no actual narrative or story that's within The Sims that I know of. I can't say that I've played it in years, but I don't think there's any story or narrative or main characters. So it would just be an original story, I'm assuming anyway. So Margot Robbie, starring as Barbie, teams up with director Kate Herron from Loki to breathe life into The Sims franchise on the silver screen. According to The Hollywood Reporter, The Sims, renowned for its one of its beloved video game franchises, is undergoing a cinematic transformation. Kate Herron, acclaimed for her direction of the first season of Loki, has been tapped to direct the film's adaptation. Joining her in the screenwriting process is Brianery Redman, Margot Robbie's production company. Lucky Chap, known for his triumph with Barbie, will helm production duties. Vertigo Entertainment Roy Lee and Miri Yoon will also be on board as producers, while Electronic Arts, the publisher of The Sims, will contribute creatively as a production partner. So this is great to hear. Electronic Arts, obviously the publisher behind The Sims, are going to be there as kind of like creative consultants. Obviously they make the game. They probably have the final say on what the creative input will be and what the characters are going to look like. But like I say, as far as I know, I don't think there's any overarching narrative in The Sims games. I could be proven wrong, but I don't think there is. So I think they would just have a free canvas to make, make a Sims movie as they want. But how would you make a Sims movie different from just a live-action drama? I mean, how do you distinguish The Sims from just being a live-action drama? Would you have the case of, at the beginning of the movie, someone is playing The Sims on their PC, and then, like, The Sims become real? You know, like, the characters jump out of the game and become real, or something like that. Because if you just did a straight-up live-action, how would you know that it's Sims? It would just be like a live-action drama movie, so... but yeah, I think like coming out of the computer game or going into the computer game, something like that. Described as a highly sought after project, the Sims movie is currently being pitched to various studios and streaming platforms, with its ultimate destination still uncertain. So it could go to streaming, it could be a big movie in theaters, it's yet to be determined. In its early stages of development, no cast members or plot details have been disclosed yet. Speculation arises regarding how The Sims will transition into a feature film. Perhaps it could cleverly incorporate the game's tropes, drawing inspiration from the unconventional approach to adapting Barbie, spearheaded by Margot Robbie's Lucky Chap, hints at potential influence on the project. Notably, The Sims mirrors the simulation of fantasy lives in virtual homes, akin to a digital dollhouse experience, reminiscent of how the children engaged with Barbie dolls. Yeah, like I said, I could see the film opening where someone's playing The Sims on their computer, and somehow something happens, and they manage to end up being transported into The Sims. Or, for instance, some little girl or little boy is playing The Sims at home, and their character manages to come out of the game that they create. Something like that would be pretty cool. I could see it going that direction. So The Sims stands as one of the most preposterous video game prosperous. I thought that said preposterous. The Sims stands as one of the most prosperous video game franchises of all time. Yeah, when you talk about the biggest video game IPs of all time, The Sims is definitely right up there at the top. The amount of DLCs, expansions, updates, patches, whatever you want to call it, there's near enough infinity amount of DLC patches you can DLC downloads you can get for this game. It's absolutely incredible. The game's been around for years. People continue to play it. It continues to make money, and it's just a huge franchise. So, originating as SimCity, I remember playing that back in the day. The video game franchise underwent a transformative journey, emerging as a widely acclaimed spin-off, The Sims, debuting in 2000. I remember playing the first Sims when it came out, and it was like all the rage. It was like the best thing I ever did. All I did was set my house on fire, and my people ended up getting killed all the time. It was so funny. So The Sims delved into the I can't say that word. The Sims delved into the intricacies, there we go, of daily lives of its fictional inhabitants dubbed Sims, boasting nearly 200 million copies sold globally. 200 million copies. That is insane. The Sims game has solidified its status as one of the most profitable video game franchises in history. So, of course, they're going to try and make a movie, try and translate some of that, revenue and money from The Sims into a box office. I get it. It makes sense. You want to bank on something that's, a massive IP. They try to make the Pokemon movie, based on the Pokemon franchise. Obviously, Pokemon is one of the biggest IPs in the world. They try to make a movie on it. Sometimes it doesn't always translate from the IP over to a movie, the box office. But, if you're going to bank on something and you're going to, gamble your money, then doing it on a franchise like The Sims is obviously a worth it gamble. So, following the resounding success of the original title, a plethora of sequels, spin-offs, and expansion packs ensued, further enriching the Sims universe. Yeah, I mean, the amount of expansions for this game alone is just ridiculous. There's probably like 50, 60, 70 expansions. Everything from like pets to university to camping to, I don't know, like supernatural. There's like everything you can possibly think of. They slapped it, if you can think of it, they probably made it as an expansion. Like aliens, like Mars, like the moon, like pretty much anything you can think of at this point. So, despite previous attempts, 20th Century Studios secured the rights in 2007 for a movie adaptation of The Sims. However, the project languished in development limbo and failed to gain substantial momentum. After remaining dormant for years, it was ultimately abandoned altogether following Disney's acquisition of 20th Century Fox in 2019. Obviously, they've looked at the financials of the Barbie movie as well, and they've probably thought, you know what? If we can translate even a fraction of the success that Barbie has done over to the Sims movie, that's why Margot Robbie has probably jumped on this project as quickly as she could. Because, like I say, if they can translate that success, even a portion of it, onto the Sims, then they could be in for a massive box office haul with the Sims. This game is known worldwide as well. As soon as you say The Sims to someone, even if they're not a gamer, The Sims, like, someone instantly knows what The Sims is. So, yeah, it's a bankable IP. However, recent successes in the realm of video game movies, exemplified by the forthcoming Super Mario Bros. Movie, which made ridiculous amounts, may have reignited interest and provided the impetus needed for The Sims to finally materialize on the big screen. As for now, no release date has been announced for The Sims movie. So it's in very, very early stages. This is only just being reported on. There's no cast, no actors, no plot. There's no release date, anything like that. So we're a long, long way off of this movie coming out. Probably going to be 3 or 4 years until we see it on the screen. But yeah, one of the biggest gaming IPs in the world of all time is now becoming a movie, The Sims. And it looks like Margot Robbie's production company is involved in doing that. Makes sense given the success of Barbie. But guys, jump into the comment section. Let me know what you think about this. Does a Sims movie get you interested? Is it something that you think you could watch? And what do you think the possible story could be for The Sims? Given the kind of game that it is, and there isn't really an overarching narrative, how would they actually make the story? Whatever your thoughts are, pop it into the comment section and let me know what you think. But with that down, guys, that's the 4 main topics that we've covered, the 4 topics we've covered in tonight's stream. And if you have any thoughts, comments, opinions, questions, anything like that, guys, pop it into the comment section and I'll get to I'll get responding to you as soon as I can. And as always, if you're watching this after the live stream, when we're not live, then I appreciate you being here and checking out my content. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you all very soon.